extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run. I've enjoyed it, and what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
All right, let me preface everything that's about to be said by Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot, should be unanimous Hall of Famer, and if someone doesn't vote for him for the Hall of Fame, they should have their vote taken away. He's that amazing of a football player forever.
That amazing of a football player.
He was that amazing of a football player.
Yes.
One of us on this show played for Bill Parcells. You guys can guess who that was, so I'm not going to just put words.
I don't like to publicize it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... Oh, you know what? My bad. Two of us. Sorry. I believe Coach Parcells said if you're thinking about retirement, you're already retired.
You are correct.
Did the Steelers just sign up for a retired football player to be their quarterback?
Well, technically, he's not retired.
Did the Steelers just sign up for a retired football player to be their quarterback?
Maybe.
What just happened here?
Aaron Rodgers letting it be known that he expects the farewell tour with one of the flagship franchises in the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they're signing up for. I can't believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers, knowing that this is entirely a possibility given Aaron Rodgers' age, that they didn't do more to fortify the long-term future at the quarterback position this offseason. You drafted Will Howard in the 6th round. We're supposed to believe that that's the succession plan that inspires hope for the future in Pittsburgh? Let's be honest, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a fledgling franchise. It is as dysfunctional as I ever remember seeing it. And you're talking about now a team that guarantees that in 2026, they will be starting their 6th different quarterback over 6 successive seasons. That is an embarrassment. The state of the affairs, the state of the union in Pittsburgh is not good, and this is just the latest example of it. To me, the fact that Aaron Rodgers was willing to make this announcement only highlights the franchise malpractice that we saw play out this offseason with the Pittsburgh Steelers not doing more to fortify their long-term future at the quarterback position, missing out on Justin Fields, who they prioritized in free agency, and then not drafting a quarterback earlier in the NFL draft. Mm-hmm. And the part that could make it even worse is that there's a guy in Cleveland by the name of Shedeur Sanders that you had an opportunity to draft several times over, chose not to, and that guy could end up starting the majority of the games for the Cleveland Browns, a division rival of yours. It's an absolute embarrassment how the Steelers have bungled the quarterback position, and I place the lion's share of the blame in terms of how they've handled it on head coach Mike Tomlin.
And not Omar Khan.
No.
And not the front office.
No, because everything we've heard, all of the reporting around it, is that when it comes to such a consequential decision, Mike Tomlin is going to have a lot of say, a lot of sway in terms of what the franchise does. And he was the one leading the charge behind the scenes to go after Aaron Rodgers. This is his baby. This is the one that he wanted. Mm-hmm. He got the guy he wanted. He sweated it out. You saw him, sweating profusely at the owners' meetings in South Florida. He's like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but we gonna wait. This is where, you get paid for making these types of decisions, being uncomfortable. They landed the plane. They got Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. But the version of Aaron Rodgers that they're going to get relative to the expectations seems like it's setting up for a disappointment in Pittsburgh.
Well, let's go there for a second, because from their perspective, they're saying he was the best option out there. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a Super Bowl champion. And he's an upgrade from what we had last year. That's the way they're going to spin it, that it's an upgrade from Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And from a talent perspective, at one point, yes. From a resume standpoint, certainly. But they could also say to their fan base, we're bridging the gap with Aaron Rodgers for 1 year, and we didn't pursue a quarterback in the way that you may have wanted us to this year, because we have an eye towards next year, which is a seemingly better quarterback class. So Aaron Rodgers is going to be this stopgap, this bridge for us, and then we have a plan for next season. But my question is, what is the state of the franchise going to be by the time you arrive at the draft next year? Well, how badly could this go from a guy who's entering his age 42 season, who has proven to be a distraction and a disruptor, not in a positive way, not in like an SF tech investor way, in a we're bringing noise and headlines and drama to franchises and people are getting fired type of way. What is the state of the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be by the time that they enact what their so-called plan is, which is drafting a quarterback next year? Could it be at the sake of head coach Mike Tomlin,
Yes.
who, while the organization is steadfast in his employ, we know that Pittsburgh Steelers fans are clamoring for a new voice and a new head coach. So they can have this plan in place, but they might not have the pieces in place that they expect to by the time it's ready. They're ready to enact this plan.
Okay, great. All around, totally agree in terms of the Tomlin part of it. A couple of other add-ons to that. So, if you told me that he doesn't finish the season, I'd believe you now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I wrote down in my
He's
notes.
done.
Well, he's already told us he's done after the year. So if it's not going well for whatever reason,
You can see him walking away.
well, I think that he and Tomlin have that real conversation of like, what are we doing here? Like, let's end on a high note, if whatever. So, I literally wrote down, are we sure he rides out into the sunset, or he sunset before the ride? Right? Like, I mean, I'm not positive about that. And I'll give you another thing on this, because you brought up a point that triggered a thought, Smalls, about the 2026 quarterback position. All right, let's go through very quickly the teams off the top of your head that you think have the worst current situation at the quarterback position. Throw anybody out there.
Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah,
Okay.
good one.
There's a chance that Anthony Richardson gets healthy and is good enough to keep a job past this year. There's a chance, right?
Yes.
Okay? Maybe not a good one, but there's a chance. Give me another one.
New Orleans.
Okay, Tyler Sharpe, they drafted, I want to say 40th overall out of Louisville, 26 years old. There's a chance he comes in and he's actually a bridge quarterback as a rookie, and they could get a couple of years out of him, right? There's a chance. Okay, so those are the two worst QB situations in the league, and I could spin 2026 more positively than I could spin it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the only team in the NFL right now that do not have a multi-year plan at the quarterback position or a multi-year possibility at the quarterback.
Will Howard?
Okay, so if you want to spin it that way, no, I'm glad you said that. If you want to spin it that way, then that goes back to my first point. If things aren't going well with Aaron Rodgers, you might as well find out if you have 2026 and 2025.
I agree with you on that front, but here's the thing that really crystallizes it for me when it comes to how bad of a decision it was for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The guy got there just in time for minicamp. A couple weeks later, goes on the Pat McAfee show and says, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be my last season in the NFL. Think about the pomp and circumstance that we had, all of the theater, all of the drama, all off-season long. Will he or won't he? Is he going to sign with Pittsburgh? Is he waiting for a different opportunity? The guy has shown you that he's not all in on football. By virtue of waiting so late to sign and then coming out weeks later after he goes to his first few practices with the team and saying, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be it. He's not all in on football. And I don't know how successful of a team you can have when you got a quarterback that has 1 foot out of the door. Remember, quarterback is a leadership position by nature. This is the dude that sets the tone. It's the most important position in all of team sports. He has the most influence on how the game is going to go. And he's telling you, yeah, I wasn't sure about signing with Pittsburgh. I'm going to wait until June, right before the team